guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing this unique Morse code words. International Morse code defines a standard encoding where each letter is mapped to a series of dots and dashes as follows. So if A, it is mapping to dot dash, B maps to dash dot dot dot, and C is mapping to dash dot dash dot. So these are Morse codes, and you can see over here that we got a lot of words here, and you just have to transform each of these words, and you could see that there are two different transformations. Some are same, so you just need to find the unique Morse codes and the number of unique Morse codes you got. So basically the idea immediately you would get that this is a hash set problem. So you would store all the Morse code for each of these letters in an array, and for every single word you would convert each of its character into its Morse code and concatenate them using string builder, so you get a final string, and add the resulting Morse string into a hash set. So you add each of the strings that you build for each of these characters to a hash set, and since it stores only unique values, you simply have to take the size of that hash set. So hash set simply works like this. Let me show you. Over here we got values, let's say A. Okay, let's take a simple string, and let's say I'm having strings. Okay, let's say BC. All right, and let's have another A. So this is a normal string array. Now, how would a hash set store this? A hash set would store this as A, and another one is BC, and it doesn't store this A. Alright, it doesn't store that. It doesn't store any kind of duplicates. It only stores unique values. So in the question, you could see that they're asking us to point out return the number of different transformations among all the beds we had. So the number of different transformations we have. Alright. So we could do this very simple. First thing that we'll do is store all these Morse codes into a string away. Okay, and you just copy all of those that are given right over them. You just need to copy from this to this, because we can't type for all the characters, so you could just copy them up. And right now what we're going to do is we're going to see how to use a hash set. Okay, how to declare a hash set. So we're going to say hash set, and inside it we're going to store a string. So we're going to use string. We're going to name it a set. You can name it anything you want to. Hash set. Now hash set is used to store unique characters. But first you need to find the Morse code for each word. For each word you have to find out the Morse code. To traverse through word inside this To traverse through each of these strings, we're going to give string. We're going to go through each of these words inside this Morse. I'm so sorry, we're not going to go through the Morse. We're going to go through the words. Alright, we're going to go through the input array, each of these words. I'm going to be initializing a string builder here. The string builder will only be used to connect all the Morse codes, and we do not need it once we complete it. So we just need to do that once. Alright. Now we're going to go through each of these characters. To go through the characters, we could do a for loop, and then for each of these characters, you could go through the word dot to character array. Now this will convert any string into a character array, and you could just use a for each loop to traverse to the characters that are in the array. Now what we're going to do is we're going to append into the string builder Morse character minus a. As you could just watch my before video if this is a bit confusing. Character minus a. I would also mention this in this video. So for now, let's see what this code does. The first thing that this code does is create an array with all of these strings. Morse has contained all of these strings. Now, what does each of these represent? In the 0th index, the Morse code, like this, represents A. A is represented by the 0th index, and so on. 1 represents ... This would be representing B, right? Now, let's have a word AB, right? Let's have AB, AC, AD, right? These are the 3 words we're going to have: AB, AC, and AD. We're going to be initializing a hash set, and this hash set is going to give us the final answer. But before that, these are the strings that we had, and we have never converted it into a Morse code. To convert that to a Morse code, we need to have Morse code for each of these characters, not the entire string. We have it for each character. And once we get into each character, we need to build that into a string, so we're going to be using a string builder. Once you use a string builder, you will be able to build an entire string with just a keyword called append. You don't have to create new string every single time. It's mutable. Now we go through each of these characters inside this word. Let's have the first word, which is AB. A, B. Now inside this for loop, I'll be appending Morse character minus A. That means the character I have here is A. The ASCII character of A minus the ASCII character of this A would result in Morse of 0 index. Now whatever string that you have here will be appended here. We have dot slash. Now this is appended to this string. So the string builder looks something like this now. And the for loop runs again for this character B. For the B character, we have B minus A, which will result in getting for us the Morse code of first index. In the first index, we have ... Now let's go and append it to the string. And this is how the ASCII looks like. Now after you append it, you need to get that result and finally add it to the set. But in the set, you can't add a string builder directly. You need to convert it into a string using the toString function. Once you do that, the for loop runs again, now selecting the next word, which is AC. AC gets in here, which will have A and the next character C. Now let's go ahead and start appending it onto a string builder. A new string builder is created, so you don't need to worry about having the earlier string. Now let's have the Morse code. The Morse code for A would be dot slash. So I would like to write it down below here. So dot slash. Now let's have a look at what C has. C has this Morse code. This is the second index, C minus A. Now let's append it over here. Now you can see over here that this looks completely different and something not similar to the previous one. So this would be added to the set as well. Well, let's go for the next one, which is A and D. A is this and D is this. Now this also, if you notice, it is something very different. But let's have E as well for this example. First, the word of words, so ADE is the next one to be added. A new string builder will be created, and then let's start to convert the word into a character array. So that would be A, D, and E. Now the Morse code for D and E. First, let me write the Morse code. For A, sp.append Morse character minus A, which is dot and this one. Next one, let's go for D. D minus A is 0, 1, 2, 3, which is slash dot dot slash dot dot. Now, the next E is just a dot over here. So E minus A is 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is just a dot. And this will be also added to the set. Now, after you add everything to the set, you will be needing to return your size of your set, which you can do set.size, and it will give you the size of your set. And you can notice over here the Morse code of this AB and ADE is same. So the set will not result in 3, but only 2.